road in a corner. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit more serious than we usually do. We're going to review 13 Reasons Why by Jay Asher, and we're also going to talk about mental health today. My wife was in the hospital for a little bit, and I was walking around, and I noticed that they had this bookshelf where books were $2 a piece. So I had Toonie in my pocket, gave them the Toonie, got the book, sat down and read about half of it by the time she got out of her appointment. And I was hooked. As someone with PTSD and mental health issues, I was able to connect with Hannah Baker quite easily, even though she's a teenage girl. It is a middle school grade book, or maybe a young adult. Probably more young adult. It reads very, very easy. I got through the book in like 2 days, and then I watched the show. The reason why I decided to pick up the book was I heard the show was very controversial, and I wanted to see what was going on with the book. It really gripped me because I saw in Hannah a piece of myself, and I understand entirely why some people commit suicide. I get it. I don't hold it against anyone who does it, and I don't call anyone cowards who would do it. I've been close enough that I almost came close to doing it multiple times. I've been living with PTSD for a decade. I was at my worst when I lived with my buddy Jacob. He'll be here in a few days, and we'll do some videos. He found me on the floor of my closet, bawling my eyes out, crying because I was just having a mental breakdown. And that's how life was with it. It was hard to deal with. And I connected with Hannah because she wasn't having breakdowns, but she was extremely suicidal. And suicide looks like Robin Williams, you know? The man looked happy, he seemed very pleasant, but he got tired of living, because life is hard. And if you're having suicidal thoughts, please don't do it, because as someone with experience, that was 7 years ago when I was on the floor and contemplating every which way to go. If it wasn't for Jacob, and it wasn't for being put into day treatment program at the Abbey Lane here in Nova Scotia, and if it wasn't for working through it with therapists and stuff like that, I wouldn't be here today. But the thing is, if you don't ask for help, you don't get help. And that's what happened to Hannah. She never asked for help. She kept it all bottled up. Back to the book for a second. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend it to anyone. And it's not good for anyone when, just be kind. Kindness is easy. Just be kind to everyone. Do the best you can. Even if you don't like them, just, hey, how's it going? A nice, hey, how's it going? She had her parents, she had her friends, because she had friends. And Clay, the main character that you follow in this book, is one of her friends. And she knows he's her friend. And, our friends and family are there and they love us, no matter what. And if you think you don't have anyone, you have at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, I guarantee it. You just gotta look and open your mouth and someone will listen. Because it's important. It's important to be able to talk about it it's important to not bottle it up because silence kills. And silence is very deadly. If you think you can handle it yourself, maybe you can. Do so. That's up to you. But I highly would recommend going into therapy. I had to go through about 3 or 4 therapists before I found my therapist that I've had for years. Whenever I have issues, I go back and see him. I took 347 volts to the heart and died for 13 seconds, and they brought me back. So I totally know how hard life can be in the after effect. And, you know, whatever doesn't kill you just makes you strange. But learning how to deal with your feelings is a very important thing. Bottling stuff up is not the way to go. Because if you just bottle it up, eventually it's gonna blow. Think of it like a bottle of pop. Shaking it, shaking it, shaking it, shaking it. And then all of a sudden, that's the way it is. It's a powder keg. Mental health is very difficult to deal with. Every year for about 4 months of the year, I'm pretty useless. It happens every year. It's happened every year for the past 10 years. This year is the first year I have listened to my body and my mind and switched over to part-time work, and my wife is doing full-time work instead, because we have children, and also she understands, because she also deals with some mental health, how important it is to hold each other up when someone's about to fall down. I hold her up, she holds me up, and we both worked it out. And you know, for the past 10 years I would be off work for 4 months every year, and so it was hard to hold down jobs. And you know, the workforce isn't for people with mental health issues. I just think that, you know, everyone has a voice and you should use it. It's important. It is. And, you know, seeking help isn't weakness, it's strength. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, but it's worth it. This book was fantastic. I highly recommend you read it if you haven't already. It's an eye-opening experience. Very interesting. I love the book. And it was only because it gives me that mindset that I totally understand and totally get. Anyway, I think for our mental health chat today, that will be enough. I will link down below suicide hotlines and stuff like that, so that if you're having trouble with anything, please go and contact them and get some help. It's definitely worth it. See about getting a therapist. And you know what? The thing about finding therapists and getting the help you need is that sometimes it could take a long time. It could take months, and that's the hardest part about it, is the waiting. But trust me, the waiting is worth it. You are strong, and you will do well. Like I said, I'll link the information below, as well as my Tumblr and Goodreads. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you can, please share it so that everyone else can see it. If you haven't subscribed, please do already, and have yourselves a wonderful day. And if you're feeling low, know that you have some friends and family around, and they are willing to listen. Have a great day, guys. Bye.